Good evening, everybody. It's the first time I've been invited to speak in a forum with a finance background, so I'm not sure about the audience very much. However, now and then smile at me, okay? So I'll have a feeling that my message is being reached out there, okay? So good evening. My name is Gladson Johnson. I'm a practicing sports physiotherapist in Jayanagar, Bangalore. 20 years back, when I started my journey as a sports physiotherapist, the first line of education which we had to give to the common audience or the common man was, you need to exercise, you need to exercise, you need to start doing some exercise. Till that, the idea about exercising was exercises or going to a gym or going to some places for exercise was something to do with the celebrity folks or somebody who belonged to the glitz and glamour world, right? Now, if I stand here and look back 20 years, it's no more a celebrity class of involvement. It is common man class involvement that everybody should exercise. And no more I need to tell anybody that you should exercise. I'm sure everybody sitting here know that you should exercise, right? I need not tell that to you. You know that you need to exercise. But the question sometimes asked now is how and when and why. Okay, so I'm going to throw some light on that. And then I'll be happy to take your question and answers after that. How much time do we have, by the way?
Yeah, so you can 20 minutes speak and then
20 minutes. Okay, wonderful.
Total 40 minutes.
Done. Done. So, if you turn back to history, you will see that we all lived in a world which was animal dominated, and human beings were the minority class then. Am I right? We lived in a world which was full of animals, and we were in some corner, right? But if you slowly scroll the history and move it forward, we have come to the world where human beings are dominated now, and animals, many of them are already extincted, by the way, right? Many times when I talk to my clients about, I always talk about exercise, I only talk about health. Many of them think that we need to exercise because we are very weak otherwise as a race, which is not true. The media has also made us believe that as time and age goes forward, you are growing weaker and weaker. Look into the television ads. At the age of 40, you will have osteoporosis. So drink our health drink. At the age of 50, you are most likely to break your bones if you don't consume our product, right? At the age of 60, you have to undergo a knee replacement to continue to be happy. That's the kind of message we repeatedly get to hear, right? So it's very natural for a consumer to think that we may be a weaker race. That's not true. Human beings are the only animals till today on planet Earth which can adapt to anything. Anything. You put a challenge to a human being will find out a way how to overcome the situation. Whereas if you look at an animal, if you take a sea level animal and you're going to put it in an altitude, that creature cannot survive there. It will die. Okay? Vice versa. You take an altitude creature and you bring it to the sea level, it will die. You bring an animal from an ice country to tropical India, it cannot survive. Well, as human beings, we have nothing in our body which can say that we will ever swim, but we can swim. There is nothing in our body which can say that we will change ourselves if we go to altitude, but we still live in an altitude. Right? Even Bangalore is an altitude, by the way. Not a high altitude, but there is an altitude. There are even sub-sea levels where human beings can exist. We have mended and modified everything around us to suit us to any level. And that's why we are basically survivors. We are basically survivors. We are overcomers. We are not a race which will succumb, or we are not a race which will go under the weather because something changed dramatically. We are the race which is built to always overcome, thrive, and always exist. Got my point? So at the first point, keep in mind that we are not a weak race. May it be men, may it be women. There's no difference between the both. And age and time is not going to make us weaker. Becoming weak or becoming useless is purely a choice in life. Look into any average movies which we take in India. If they have to show somebody is old, they will make him walk slow, first of all. Right? Second, he'll be coughing in one corner. Very, very old person, he'll be lying down, almost lying down. That's the way they show somebody to make them understand that they're old in life, right? The truth is, that's not the truth. We are not, does any animal die out of being bedridden for 2 years? No. When the time comes, they just die. Over. Right? But nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you that. Has anybody told you that? No. Nobody tells you that. Same as human beings. When an unadaptable creature can live its fullest life till the day it dies, what about an adaptable creature like us? How are we supposed to live? But it is the world, the environment, and the media, and I'm not being negative about the media, okay? But the news which is being spread, because there's a lot of sales going around the health industry. So if we don't create a patient, we don't sell anything out there, right? So I look at the reverse angle. Reverse a patient so that there's no need of any of these things. You're getting my point? So how much more an adaptable creature like you and I can live to our fullest potential till the day we are designated to be alive? How much more? Give it a thought. Give it a thought. An average person's mindset is, I need to work very hard. Somehow I should stand upside down and work till I retire. And once I retire, I'm going to enjoy all my money. Believe me, nobody will enjoy their money if they have worked that hard till their retirement age. They will as well as spend all that money to fix all the puncture on themselves which they have incurred because of hard working for over the number of years. So question out here, since most of you are in a finance background, when will you start saving money? When you are bankrupt? When there's an emergency tomorrow, you're going to save today? When will you start saving? Whenever you start earning, you know that there is money in hand, we start saving. Over and above, we are Indians. We have got it in our blood to save always for another day, right? We taught the whole world how to save money. We need not go too much deep into how much to save, how to save. We all know it that we need to save when things are fine, right? So that when something happens, we know how to take care of it. Similarly, when it comes to health, the first thing is you need to start exercising when everything is fine. You got my point? When there is absolutely no reason for you to exercise, that is the time you need to start exercising. Okay? I have worked with my clients as young as 8 and 9-year-old children, and the oldest I worked was just a few months back. He was 98 years of age. Okay? He walked to my clinic, by the way, just because somebody told there is one guy who will teach exercise without any discrimination. So he came with that only one idea that you will teach me exercise when I ask you exercise. So teach me exercise. I've come here. I was first of all stunned. I never take any photographs with my clients. I don't take that at all. But first time I asked him, I need to take one picture with you. You are 98. I've never taught anybody at 98. He came, walked to my place. He learned a few exercises. And I asked, what made you come here first of all? You look fine, you're walking. He said, no. Because wherever I go, they ask me, why you should teach you exercise? And you don't need to do any exercise. But I've been exercising for the past 60 odd years of his life. You got my point? And I asked him, what made you do exercise first of all? He said, even I don't know now. Somewhere I started that habit and it's gone all this way till today. He's never laid down anywhere, by the way. He's never fallen sick, by the way. He was never bedridden in his whole life. And a few days back, he passed away. He celebrated his 99th birthday. 3 days after that, he passed away. So the caretaker came to me saying that I want that photo which you took with him in your clinic that day. For that they came. So I asked him, how was his last moments? He said, sir, you won't believe me. It was 9:45 in the morning and he said, my cardiologist appointment is at 10:30. So he took bath, he had his breakfast, he changed his clothes and he got into the car. And I just closed the door and I came to the driver's seat to drive and I saw that he was gone. I said, that's all? He said, that's all. Till the day he died, he was not lying down anywhere, by the way. He never had the belief in his mind that life is to be limited. Age has got its own challenge, no doubt about that. As time and age goes forward, it brings in certain differences in the body, which was different a decade ago and which will continue to be every decade ago. But that does not mean life becomes limited. It is only our belief which makes us believe, no, before 60 we have to finish all these things in life and after 60 I will relax in life. That's never going to happen. You need to start putting the first foot forward to invest in your own health when everything seems normal and there is no requirement to exercise. You feel, if you have got that feeling, that that's the time you need to start your exercise. Believe me, you are never too late to exercise. If you're 40s, you're not late at all. If you're 50, you're still not late, by the way. If you're 60, you're definitely not late, by the way. I've been fortunate to work with a lot of inspirational personalities from our India only, by the way. Let's not go with foreign examples. In India itself, so I can give you enough and more examples. I'll share with you another example. This person, I've taken permission, so I'll give his name. His name is Mr. Janardhan. He should be right now around 89 years of age, okay? At 4 years back, I met him. 4 years back, I met him the last, by the way. This man at the age of 69, he realized that Bangalore traffic is getting more worse, okay? And he's got 6 children, all in different places of Bangalore. And he wanted to meet them every single day. This week, he wanted to spend time with the first child, then second child. And he found it very difficult to commute inside Bangalore city traffic. So what should be his decision? What should be his decision? He walked his way. Okay, now that you got the gist of the story, he walked his way. Okay, he didn't walk actually, he started to cycle. Okay, he started cycling to all his children's place, all over Bangalore, 6 children's place. He started cycling, and he started mounting up around thousands of kilometers in a month. Now, 69-year-old man became younger after that or became older after that? Naturally, he became older after that. He became 73, he became 74, he became 75. At 78, suddenly he got an idea. We've been cycling all this while, man. It's getting boring now. Why don't we start running now? So he started running at the age of 78, he started running. That's when I saw him, okay? In Lalbagh, I saw him running. And after my group finished running, we all will take a selfie with the most eldest man who's running. And so patiently, this man started running little by little by little. At the age of 83, he said, now I want to run a full marathon. A full marathon is just 42.2 kilometers. He said, I'm going to run that, by the way. So we both ran the Tata India Mumbai Marathon when he was 83 years of age. Okay, he completed in 6 hours 30 minutes. I completed at 4 hours 30 minutes. What a shame, no? Despite having 40 years of difference, the time difference was only 2 hours. It's not about the age. It's not about the time, but it's about the attitude. Okay, now he is older or he's younger? He's getting older. He's way older than where he started. And last when I met, he said, now I'm thinking maybe we should do a triathlon also a little bit. So I should learn swimming. He does not know swimming, by the way. I should learn swimming. You got my point? He is on the roads of Bangalore every single day. Okay, if you see an elderly man with a small goatee, bald head, bags packed on the cycle, that's him. Okay, he hails from JP Nagar's 7th phase, and he till today cycles all over Bangalore. You got my point? Age getting older and we getting useless is just a mindset. The first thought that I need to be better in my life, I need to do well in my life, does not start from your actions. It starts from your thoughts. It starts from your thought. You need to think that I need to do something. Okay? I need to do because I have to do is not the mindset. Then you're putting yourself under a compulsion, and that compulsion converts into stress. We have already got enough and more stress to stress our own selves out. You got my point? Don't add one more to that list and pressurize yourself that tomorrow morning 5:30 I should somehow get up. It will never happen. Okay? And even if it happens, it will not last longer. And you all know the principle of investment is, first I told you, you should start as soon as you earn. I didn't teach you. You know it by yourself. Second, will you invest whenever you have time? Whenever you feel like I'll invest this month, next month I'll not invest. Will you do that? No. There is a pattern to it, right? SIP, right? Okay. There's a pattern to it that every month you have a discipline of investing X amount of time, right? X amount of money, right? The second rule of exercise is also that. Exercise is all about being consistent. If you're not being consistent, even the greatest things is just a history in your book. You got my point? I always ask all my clients one question. The second or almost the third question I'll be asking is, do you exercise? Now 20 years I've been asking the same question. Till today, nobody has ever answered me no. You got that? Till today, nobody has answered me, I don't exercise. Now, by now I know that that's not true. So I always have 17 cross questions to ask them to make them realize where they stand right now. So if they say yes, I will tell them, can you please tell me what you do? And the commonest answer will be, I used to be an athlete in my college days. Stop, please. Used is past tense. I am asking present continuous tense. What are you doing to exercise? No, nowadays I am not much regular. Then my next question has to ask, if you are not much regular, how regular are you? Here and there I do exercise. How much here? How much there? Actually, I don't do anything. For that, I have to ask like a CBI officer this many questions. You got my point? Nobody has ever answered on face value for my question, do you exercise? No. So I used to exercise. I was an athlete in my college days. I did yoga for 5 years. Now I'm not doing anything for 2 years. I'm planning to start in the future. All are invalid. You got my point? All these answers are absolute void and obsolete and invalid. If you have a thought that you have to contribute to yourself because you are aware that you have to contribute to yourself, it has to be consistent. It has to be consistent. There cannot be a now and then, whenever I feel like this month I'll do this, next month I'll do that. After that, like monkey business here and there every month. That is not how exercise works like. Like, will you keep changing your SIPs every month now and then? This company this month, that company that month, that this month, that. Will you do it? You will never do that, right? Because that's not how your funds grow. There has to be a consistency in a particular direction. Over a period of time, there are people who will take care of that, whether it's going good, not going good. Not going good, change the direction. Going good, invest more, right? But there has to be some direction and there has to be some continuity, right? Exercise is like that. There has to be consistency. Without consistency, there is nothing called as exercise, okay? The third thing, when I say exercise, the next question is, what is exercise? Right? We've all got our own definitions for exercise. So what is exercise? If I ask you, what will you say? What is exercise? Anybody? It's okay, just you can answer from there, no problem. Moving your body, wonderful. Then? Muscle memory, wonderful. I like the second part, telling your body. That is actually the first thing. You have to tell yourself, first of all, nothing is impossible. That's really true. You know, I told you, mindset first, then only comes action, right? So, any other definitions for exercise? Any physical activity, wonderful. Don't give me that look. Say something. Any other definitions for exercise? No, that's all?
Should be able to physically do what we want to do.
Should be able to do is a goal, yes. But what is exercise? Okay. Better form. No, you shouldn't answer, boss. you hail from that industry, by the way, okay? By the way, that's Mr. Ben, for the ones who does not know. And I'm meeting him for the first time. But I've heard a lot of stories about him. From the time I came to Bangalore and from the time I've been incepting my organization called Attitude Prime, I've heard legendary stories about him, right? And finally I got to see him, and I'm really happy for that, for such kind of forerunners in our industry, right, who believe in a very die-hard way, whether others believe or not, right? So, nice meeting you, sir, and I'll never forget this evening. Okay, and coincidentally, my organization is also completing 12 years this year. Okay, so I've been hearing about Mr. Ben even before that, okay? So I worked for an organization called Talvakas. The owner of that organization is now 89 years of age, okay? And he released a video on his 89th birthday of how he exercises. Maybe it's available in YouTube. I got it as a WhatsApp forward. But that man, I met him when he was 75 years of age. And he looked much younger than his 40-year-old sons, I tell you. He was, I mean, you will vouch for that, Madhukar Talwakar. His name is Mr. Madhukar Talwakar. How he was, and he was the first personal trainer in India, and he worked with Kapil Dev, okay, the then cricketer of India. He was beaming with energy all the time because his belief was you should always exercise. And on his 89th birthday, he sends that message that start at any age, but start. And once you start, don't stop. That's the message was so sweet and so short. Start. First of all, you start. Don't talk. Start. And once you start, don't stop. So what is exercise? Moving the body is... Yes, madam. Sorry.
Exercise is taking care of oneself.
Taking care of oneself. Nice. All these explanations are correct, by the way. They are not wrong, by the way. But I'm going to put a cutting through difference between both so that you will know which side you stand in, by the way. Okay? At the first place, doing something physically is very important. A start is always a start. Whether you decided to walk inside your corridor, or you went a stroll on the road, or you cycled, or you swam, or you played badminton with somebody who's younger than you, whatever it is, the start is a start. There's no questions on where you started. Got my point? If you moved your body today and you felt you moved certain body parts, and the next day morning you remembered those parts also because those aches woke you up, then you have done justice to starting somewhere. But as you move in that journey, you cannot stand at the standard of just moving your body. Our body is such an intelligent body, designed to move in directions and in ways which you can't even imagine sometimes. Those many directions of actions is packed inside your body, whether you know it or you don't know it. And training each and every of those movements in a controlled way is called as exercise. If somebody tries to catch your collar, what will you do? You will push the person out. Am I right? Simple. I need not teach you how to push a person. You will push. That means you've got an action inside your body which will push somebody. Correct? You do that in a technical way, it's called push-ups. Nothing more than that. If you sit in a chair and if they say dinner is open, what will you do? You will stand. Right? Nobody needs to tell you how to stand. But if you technically do that movement, it's called squats. You got my point? What the movement is available naturally in your body, training it on a regular basis is called as exercise. So exercise is the place where you actually earn your fitness. You got my point? When I say fitness, I mean a few values. You need to earn strength. What is strength? The ability to lift something which is heavier. The ability to generate force in your body. At any given age, you have to generate force. You have to get up from the chair to walk. You are generating force in your leg. When you're walking on an inclined surface, you're generating force all the way from your heart through your hands and leg muscles. You are generating force as long as gravitational force is available under you. You have to generate force to move around. Otherwise, you will fall down flat on the ground. You got my point? So training that system is called strength training. Simple. Is that very simple? Now, you got daily chores in your home, right? When you go to office, you have to bend and tie your shoelace. Nowadays, people don't want to tie, so they just put the leg inside there, right? Shoes without lace, which looks like a shoe in front, but from the back side, it's a chappal. We have created all lazy things around us, didn't we? Right? But you need to bend, right? If your son is running around and you need to catch him, you have to bend your back to run behind him. So when you have to move your joints across a few ranges, you need flexibility. You earn that virtue of flexibility through your exercises. When you have to hold a position for a long time, you're standing in a queue. You have to hold your own body for a long time there, right? Holding your body is your responsibility, not somebody's responsibility. Holding the body in position needs stability. So stability is a virtue of fitness. Getting my point? Stamina. When you want to repeat an activity again and again and again, lift didn't work. You have to climb all your way, 11 floors. You need stamina of your leg muscles and your heart and lung to bring you up alive, right? You need stamina. So training that system is called endurance training. So exercise, you earn these virtues. Get my point? You earn these virtues. But sports, when we talk about sports, what is sports? Playing something is sports. Running is a sport. Swimming is a sport. Cycling is a sport. You name it, badminton, golf, all these are sports. In sports, you are spending all the virtues what you earned in your fitness. So now question to you all. Which one will you work hard in life for? To earn more or to spend more? Spend more. Without earning more? You are eligible to spend more. But what is the first criteria to spend more? Earn more. Am I right? Very, very straightforward. If you earn this much, will you look forward to spend that much? No. If you earn this much, you want to spend this much. Common sense? Right? Only then there will be balance in your account every month. Otherwise, there won't be balance in your account for sure. Right? Exercise versus sports. The commonest myth is it's enough to be active in life. It's enough to play a sport always. Is not the way forward. Because, as I told you, if you're only playing a sport and you're not exercising, you're only spending your physical virtues. You need to earn your physical virtues, first of all, to spend it. So if you are playing a sport regularly, ask the first question, am I earning enough fitness to spend this much in my sport? If the answer is no, you need to spend time in your fitness. Exercise is different to that of sports. Now, all of us have crossed childhood. Anybody who didn't cross childhood? All of us came through childhood, right? What did our parents tell us when we were a child? Did they tell us to exercise? No. No parents will tell their children to exercise. At least our parents never told us. We will tell our children because we know that they won't do it anyway. But that's not what did they tell us. They told us play. Go out and play, man. Go out and play. The playing formula, which is spending formula, which I just now told you, is applicable for children because they are born with enormous potentials and their bodies are growing. We are all grown up. Our growth is fixed. So the formula for a child, as long as the child is growing, is spend more. Dad's pocket money, no? Why you worry about that? Spend. Whatever is naturally available in your body, spend. Play morning, play evening, play night, play as much as possible. But once the body becomes grown up, time for you to earn by yourself, now you can't do the same old formula of only playing. You can play, provided you earn enough to play. You're getting my point? I want you to have that understanding because in this era right now, being active has become very, very popular. People are thronging into marathon running. If I go for a marathon race, minimum 50,000 people are there, right? I mean, that's such big crowd. Now you will see TCS 10K happening in Bangalore. Minimum there will be 35 to 45,000 people on the streets. Whether they run or not, secondary, forget that. But they will be there on the street that day, which is good. I encourage all those things. At least the thought to go on the road is there rather than being at home. But don't be satisfied at that point. Grow up your virtues every single day. Contribute to it. Start anywhere. As I told you, start anywhere. Nobody's going to question where you started. But as you grow forward, you need to ensure you train the fitness values inside your body so that a fit body offers you longevity in life, and it will also ensure when you retire, you can peacefully retire and enjoy what you want to enjoy. Otherwise, the moment you retire, you will remember now there is diabetes running through the blood. Now there is hypertension, now there is a cardiac disease, and fixing that puncture, believe me, it's a menace in life. Okay, and it will ensure that nobody lives peacefully though they are old. We want to live longer and we also want to live healthier. I'll finish with my story, by the way. I was blessed to be born as a child who was not able to do anything. Okay, when I say that, I mean physically, I was not able to do anything. For a long time, none of them could not figure out what was wrong with me. But what was wrong with me is if I brisk walk, I'll be running out of breath. If I speak fast, I'll be running out of breath. If I even deliver a dialogue very fast, I'll be running out of breath. And I could not do anything physically much. I would tire up very, very fast. And finally, when I was in my 5th standard, the doctors came up with the diagnosis that this is called as childhood asthma. It has come because of stress. Okay. Now, I was born and brought up in a different country. And because of the Gulf War, we suddenly came to India. Overnight, my lifestyle changed. I came to a place where the language was different, people were different, lifestyle was different. I saw human beings for the first time who walked without chappals. I never lived in such kind of a world. So it was incomprehensible for me to see such tough creatures existent. And this was village boys. An average village boy will climb a tree, he will swim very well, and he will pedal a cycle, and he will run all over. I could not do any of those things. And my entire childhood was only spent thinking that I cannot do any of these things. Time passed, age went forward. I went to my college in a place called Coimbatore. Coimbatore is one of the best places to die if you got asthma. You know why? You know why? It's got cotton dust there. Okay, textile, it's a textile industry area, and there's enormous cotton dust out there. An asthmatic can definitely not survive there. And I was introduced to that place for my college days. But that was the time where something inside me told that you can't live like this, man, longer. You have to do something. Try something at the first place. So I was starting to find out role models for myself. I used to be very thin, by the way. So I was thinking which role model was relatable to my body size. Arnold was looking too huge, by the way. Ronnie Coleman was unimaginable, by the way. But there was one guy who looked like my body size. So he became my role model. Guess who? Bruce Lee. But he was fit and thin. I was only thin. Okay. But he was a relatable model. I've never seen that guy. I've never heard about him. I've never seen his movies. But later I started watching that. Then I realized that he is a different breed by itself. But that idea that he is doing something screaming called Kung Fu, I went to a karate master thinking that I'll become like him. So I went and I asked him, I want to look like this one fine day. Will, is it possible? And he was a very good teacher, believe me. He said, come, it's very much possible. With all my hopes, I went the next day morning, only to realize I could stand the training only for 5 minutes. Okay, after that, the same old problem came out. But the teacher never told, don't come. He said, come tomorrow, come the next day. And I would show up because he would encourage me to come. Time went, 5 minutes became 15 minutes, 15 minutes became 45 minutes, 45 minutes became 1 hour. By the time I was in my final year college, I could endure a training which was 6 hours straight. 6 hours straight. And I don't know when did that asthma run away from me. Till today, I've never seen that, by the way. 6 hours straight. Those days, when you are crossing brown belt level, they used to take us to the foothills of Ooty. Okay, and the van will stop there, and we all have to get down and start running through the forest all the way up the hill. Okay, all the way up. And in between the forest, there is a falls called as Paikara Falls. It would be so damn cold, but you have to get down inside that neck-deep water and start practicing punch and kicks. Okay, now in the air only to punch sometimes is an effort. Inside the water to punch and kick, it's a huge effort, by the way, right? And with cold, the cold will definitely overcome your body temperature. You will start cramping. So as you cramp, you can get up and go out of the water. Okay, you're not allowed to squeeze your clothes or something. You have to be with the wet clothes till the last guy cramps and comes out. And that's always the master only will be the last person. We all will tell each other, boss, come out so that come out as fast as possible so that master will also come out. If you stay long, you're all going to suffer the cold because cloths are wet. So we'll all tell each other and we'll come out of the water at scheduled times. And with that wet clothes, we used to run all the way to that peak called Dodapeta. Okay, there the training starts. And by then, how many kilometers, even till today, I don't know how many kilometers we would have ran till the top, but used to run there and the warm-up starts. So far, whatever you did is not counted anywhere, okay? There the warm-up starts, your training starts, fighting starts after that till midday, and then only you are given food to eat. And believe me, we will all eat and lie down in that Omni van, and none of us will be awake till we reach Coimbatore. Okay, we'll all be just there, gone to heaven, right? But point here is, the body learned over time to take up that much load. You're getting my point? Coming to the first point which I told you. Human beings are adaptable. We are always adaptable. But the first command, what do I need to adapt myself, should come from your mind. Your mind is the first thought that I need to do something for myself rather than I have to do something for myself. Never be under compulsion to do something for yourself, but understand the responsibility which you have for yourself, your family, your society, the community which you live in. You have a responsibility for sure. That's why you are here. And to ensure that responsibility is carried out smoothly, you need to have a healthy body for yourself, for which you need to start exercising. Thank you.